that story and you think about the story, what are some things that come to your mind?
Your socks.
My socks? Thanks. Sorry. No, what's some story that things that come to your mind?
The other one too.
She was embarrassed right now.
Lots of times when the angel says, do not be afraid, over and over and over again. Do not be afraid, do not be afraid.
Okay, don't be afraid. Anything else? What stands out in the story? Come on. We talk here, right?
The
I'm
shepherds
not
got it.
sermonizing. What's that?
The shepherds were like the first to be told
Okay. All right.
how to accept it.
The empire of God is much stronger than the empire of man.
Okay. The Empire. Where's it then? Yeah. What was the good one in the Star Wars thing? The Empire or the... no, there was that. Yeah.
Well, wouldn't you be, I mean, I'd probably be under the bed or out the window if an angel, something all of a sudden appeared in my room, you know. He came up to Mary and said, don't be afraid. I'd still wonder, who in the world are you? You know, when that angel came to Mary, come into the black room there.
Okay. One of the first things that stand out to me is mess,
Wouldn't you be kind of running?
which is why I kind of look at you right now. It's kind of a mess. I didn't do my hair today.
Thinking of evil
Clothes, I
angels.
didn't iron them. Normally I iron. The video didn't work out right. A mess. This was so intentional. Yeah, they thought I was just being ignorant. But maybe in a different way. A mess. Huge mess. When I read the story and I see what's going on, I just see a big hot mess. I asked you guys earlier, like, what's the biggest mess you ever saw? To me, I think if you were to ask them, like, what was the mess, Mary'd be like, when I was pregnant. Like, what in the world am I pregnant for? Talk about an emotional roller coaster. Talk about a hot mess. Because
Plus
if Grace
she'd be
were,
hormonal.
well, Grace is 13, going to be 14, about the same age as Mary, and she'd be like, Dad, I'm pregnant. But I haven't seen anybody, Dad. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. So, I mean, a hot mess. Think of the messes that are in there. What are some of the messes that you see? You think of that word mess. So, Mary.
Told her for 9 months pregnant, she's got to ride on a donkey, but that's okay.
Wow. Okay.
Well, right off the bat, they had to Egypt,
Okay.
like escaping to Egypt, sneaking across the border and whatnot.
Giving birth in, right? In a kind of baby thing, right? That was a mess. It was a hot mess.
Putting the baby in a feeding trough.
Reservations. Oh yeah, hate that, right? Reservations were screwed up.
Taxes.
Taxes, right? There was the taxes. That's a mess. Hot mess. I mean, stop thinking about it. There definitely was a mess with, I think, the marriage. Definitely a mess for what was going to happen in that relationship. And I think of the story here, at least to me, I look at it because it really applies to our life. Because Christmas time sometimes, well, it can be Christmas time, it can be any time, but it's easy for the marriage to be a mess, or the relationships to be a mess, right? They can take one wrong sentence, say something the wrong way, buy the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, and then you get the silent treatment, or you get the loud stuff.
Joseph had a messenger that told him, don't worry about Mary.
Right, but he didn't at first, did he?
Nope.
Well, I
He was in a dilemma, right? He was in a dilemma, like, how am I going to do this? How do I get rid of
All
her?
this that got married.
How do I get rid of this lady? Because that's where he was going. How do I get rid of her without really shaming her? But this is he wouldn't have believed her. He didn't.
And even then, the messenger didn't tell his friends about it.
Right. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you said the marriage, but there was a big old age difference. They think he was probably 30, something like that, and she was 14. So there would have been that teenager mentality in her still. So, you know, there's a big age difference there.
Okay. That's
Just because you're told not to worry, even by God, doesn't mean that you're done worrying.
Okay, okay. Anything else? So when I stopped, and I think there was this relationship, there was some odd things going on there. And I just think that it applies to all of us at some point. If not now, in a week, not in a week, a month, or this last month. Yet, in the middle of the mess, there's the idea of this miracle. You know, there's this prophetic utterance. These things are going to happen. It's a mess, but there's a miracle happening in the midst of all of it. And I can't help but think that whatever kind of mess that we're having in our families, because families are dynamic, whatever kind of mess we're having there, there's intended to be some kind of miracle out of it. Something good to come out of it. Yes?
Are you saying it's like the weird Christmas present from Aunt Grace?
Huh?
Like you put it up, you know that Aunt Grace cares about you, but you're not sure why you got it and what it is. Yes.
I've never got that present for me.
Aunt Grace had a hat that had tweeting birds.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Good lesson. I get what you're saying now. Yep. Okay. So being able to find a miracle in the mess, and not just now, but in the future with your relationships and within your families. Okay. Another thing that I saw, well, you mentioned it as well, like their reservations were screwed up. I think if they'd have had more money, they probably could have gotten in. Right? I mean, if you have money, you can get in.
But they have to pay their money for their sacrifice. To pay their taxes.
Right. So there was a monetary problem, I think. I think there was a monetary problem with them and what they had. And I think I should be able to get a big amen with that. And I don't even like to do that. But money's always, seems to always be an issue. Just when you think you're going to have more and enough, then it's like gone. Something breaks, something else happens.
Big blood pit.
Never, and you're like, what in the world? We were just going to be right here. And then you're not. And especially during this time, especially sometimes as parents, it's like, oh, I want to get my kids this, or I want to get my kids that, or I want to get this, but I don't have the money to give it to them. And sometimes for guys, that can make you feel kind of insignificant a little bit. Like, wow, I can't even get the things I need to for my kids that they might want for Christmases. And I'm thinking that. Maybe you never felt that way. Yes?
Oh, I was thinking, he probably didn't want to hear all the screaming and stuff if they knew the baby was coming that night. You know, everybody's there to sleep and, you know, have a good time. They probably, if he knew she was having a baby that night. And if it was the woman's, or the wife, or the guy's wife would have come, you might have had another room in there, but the innkeeper was a guy, so I ain't putting up with that stuff tonight.
Okay. Good imagination.
He likes to kid me when I'm
Yes.
there trying to.
And that goes into our next one. So I do see a mess with marriage and family and that kind of stuff, and see a kind of a hot mess with money going on here, which kind of always relates to family during Christmas time. And, well, I guess another one with the military, right? Yeah. With military type things. There's a mess going on there for sure. That'd be something. How I raise a kid and then have all this stuff happen. Yes, hand it up in the back. Oh, you were just sorry. Okay. So different messes, I think, going on, and if I want to get just to the point, to the short, is that you're going to have messes. The story is about a big mess. The earth is a big mess. There's problems with the government and Israel and people. Lines are drawn. It's not a great time. Yet there's a miracle that happens in the middle of it. And hopefully you can identify whatever messages that's kind of going on for you right now, whether it be a minor one or a major one, and say, you know, God, if in the midst of all of that, in a world that's essentially crumbling and falling and going one way, you provided a miracle. What are you trying to do in my life right now? What are you trying to do for us as a church family right now? Because things can seem bleak at times, for sure. I stop and think about this church as it was, go back a couple of years ago, and how maybe headed a certain way and going to do a certain thing and was kind of excited and on board and being active in the community and whatever else, and then just it seemed like one thing after another thing after another thing just kind of disabled the intentions or plans that we had. And is there a miracle still in the midst of that? That God can do something really cool and really great for not only your city and your family, but for this church family. Because as I look around here, I don't like what I see. I don't like the facility that we're in. I mean, this is not working. And I think God can do something bigger. Not that he has to, because this is good. This is good. And we should be content. But at the same time, can there be a greater miracle that God has in store for us? And can we be a blessing to other people so that they can experience the exact same thing? Because there's a lot of people, and I'll say stop and think about this for a moment, like at the end of this message, whatever else, is can you share this with somebody else? Can you please go share this with someone else? Because I'm guessing about 80% of the population at least out there, Christmas is about something totally different. It's not about really finding a miracle. It's about getting the next thing. Or it's about being anti-Christmas. Or it's, all these different ideas. And I think people are looking for hope and they're looking for something at the same time. And you have a chance to go out and provide some Christmas cheer, some type of miracle in the midst of their mess. Does that make sense? You guys can come up front. I'm going to pray. Father in heaven, thank you for, I guess, giving an example through your word and how you turn dirty situations into good ones. And we stop and look at the whole story, how it just seemed like a complete failure and nothing was working out. Came your son in a miraculous way, protected a family in a miraculous way, talked to wise men and talked to dads and talked to a mom, and I guess I just suspect that you're wanting to do the same thing for us today as well. So help us to see the miracle in our mess. In Jesus' name.